Hey guys, today we have the Samsung Note Tab 10.1 2014 edition. Alright, we're going to be installing the full body kit. This is the back. It comes with a camera eye cover. And this right here is the front skin. And additionally, you get two sets of sides if you get the full body kit, or side wraps only. This color that we'll be installing will be the rose gold copper. It's got its name because in certain lights it does have a coppery looking color to it. But the actual name is rose gold. So to start off with our installation, we're going to completely remove the front skin from the wax backing. Be very gentle while removing the front skin because it is a very thin piece all the way around. The best way to remove it is flat down and to peel the wax backing off the front. Now to install, you want to line up the sensors and the camera eye on the top of the tab. And don't forget to keep the corners aligned as well too. Now once you have the top part centered correctly, you may bring the rest of the bottom down as well. You just have to be gentle because once the top is aligned correctly, the bottom will almost likely fall right into place with a little bit of movement by your part. Now that you feel comfortable with your positioning of the front skin, just press your thumb all the way around the front skin just so it sticks to the glass. For this next part, it is ultimately optional, but for installation purposes, you're going to need a piece of tape. Use a piece of Scotch tape to remove the home button off the wax backing. Now once you have it positioned centered over the actual home button on the tab, just press it down and remove the tape. Next is going to be the back. You're going to remove the back completely off the wax backing, and then you're going to use the camera eye and the area where your stylus goes as your pivot points. But there is going to be some leverage that it may twist and not align correctly. Now while installing the back, you also want to look at the top of the skin to see if it's level with the top of the tab. If you're unsure, just run your finger across the top to see if it is level with the tab. Once you feel confident with the install, you may let the skin down and start pressing it down, removing all the air bubbles from the middle out. Also, press down the sides, but leave the corners up. We'll be heating them in a few minutes with our hairdryer. Now around the corners you want to leave about an inch to 2-inch radius just so that the install will come out flawlessly. Alright guys, if you notice we do have a cover for the camera eye right there. We'll be installing that in a few minutes, but that's optional as well. But at this point you want to grab your hairdryer and start heating the sides and corners. Now when you heat the corners, you want to press them down and put pressure in a circular motion. This will ensure that there's no creases or any air pockets that may build up underneath the skin. Now don't forget to heat the sides as well, because there is a little bit of a curve that normally, if the material is not soft, it won't usually stick to a curved surface. Okay guys, now if you look closely, you can start to see the stitching on the back of the note starting to protrude through the skin. Now if you really want those stitches to be visible, all you have to do is reheat the material and put a little bit of pressure around those areas. And then those stitches will be clearly visible on your skin. Okay, now that we reheated the sides, like I said, the stitching is clearly visible. Now that if you really do like the note style with the stitching, then a little extra heating is going to be required. But those of you that want to cover that up, then you can skip that step of reheating it. Okay guys, now that we've finished the front and back, we're going to be moving on to the side wraps. Now, like I said before, you do get 2 sets, just in case you happen to goof or you want to save it for another date. To start off our side wrap installation, we're going to start with the side that is on the top of the tab. Now be very careful with these side wraps. You don't want to stretch them because they are very thin. You could stretch them during installation or even removing them from the wax backing. Now to install this side, you just want to line it up around the buttons and the power cord adapter on the top. Once you feel confident enough that your side wrap is centered around the buttons and the cutout, you're going to want to push it down just so that the adhesive will stick to the side. So our next side wrap is going to be the bottom section of the tab. Okay, so now we have the bottom side of the tab along with the side wrap. You want to follow the same process as we did for the top side wrap. You want to line it up around the cutout and that tiny speaker or microphone hole that you see to your right. Those will be your pivot points. So just center the side wrap the best to your ability. And like I said, you see me lifting it up here, but you want to be very gentle because these side wraps are thin and they will stretch. So now that our side wraps are centered on the side of the tab, like I said, press it down. Alright, now it's on to our next piece of the side wrap. This one has to have the thinnest pieces of this whole full body kit. So you want to be very delicate, that you want to lift it up, re-lift it up as minimal as possible because these very thin pieces will snap or stretch. Now this section is the one with the stylus cutout. So first off, you want to center it around the square cutout, as you see me doing here. Then once that pivot point is lined up, you want to center it around the stylus and the other cutout. Once you feel good that those are centered to your liking, you may press the side wrap down and now move on to the flap that is lifted. Now when you connect the 2 side wraps together, there might be a little lift. If there is a little lift, the easiest remedy is just to heat it and it'll contour to the side of your tab. Okay, now it's on to the other flap that is still lifted up. All you have to do is press it down, and since the other side is aligned, it will connect to the other piece of the side wrap, leaving an almost seamless side. But don't forget, it's in 4 pieces. Now it's on to the side with the earphone jack. You want to start off with the earphone jack as your pivot point. Center it around the earphone jack and the button. Once those 2 sections are centered, you can press that area down and move down the length of the side. Now to finish this section off, like we did in the previous one, all you have to do is fold those lifted flaps down and make a connection to the other sides. To finish this install up, you want to heat the whole full body kit around. This will activate the adhesive and it'll make for a better stick to your device. And it'll fill in any crevices that may contain air pockets, because the film will grow soft from the heat and it'll contour to the edges a lot better. Now for the finishing touch that I said was optional earlier. Grab a piece of Scotch tape to remove the camera lens off the wax backing. Once you have the camera cut out onto your Scotch tape, all you have to do is center it around your camera on the tab. Once you feel confident that it is centered, press it down, and then press it down again once you remove the tape, just so you know it's stuck. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and until next time.